This is Alan Farley from FX Empire. Netflix reports Q1 2022 earnings after Tuesday's closing bell. Taking a look back, the stock topped out just above 400 in 2018, carved this sideways pattern through the pandemic low right here in March 2020, and then broke out in this two-legged rally that finally topped out near 700 in November 2021. The bottom dropped out in January when the company projected a Q1 guidance much lower than expectations. The stock gapped down 21%, crossed the 50-month moving average, came down to the 786 retracement in March, which is a good place for it to bounce and perhaps bottom out. Now, as you can see, price action since that March low has been very poor. It's trading very close to this low ahead of earnings, which is never a good sign. However, we do have the monthly stochastic all the way down here in the sell zone, which is also the oversold zone. As you can see, it got here in 2019, got here again in 2012 and 2011. So this is where we start to expect a bottom. 786 is also where we try to expect a bottom. However, so far, at least, it's not cooperating. Moving in closely to the price action so far, as you can see, the stock failed this breakout above that it all goes back here to July 2020 high, right around 575. Failed that breakout right here 2 weeks ahead of the earnings report. So some folks might have known what was going on. Notice that was going down for 2 weeks straight before that big gap down after earnings. Came back up, failed to fill the gap, took out the prior low, and then popped up, which gave us a short-term buy signal. However, that rally even failed to reach the 50-day moving average, which is just plunging at a rapid rate. We've come all the way back down almost to that prior low, which is, again, very bad news ahead of earnings. Now, where do we go from here? Again, we have an oversold daily and oversold monthly. Let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly has just crossed into a sell signal, so we have three oversold signals, or three sell signals or oversold signals. So the stock is getting washed out. We've also started, notice how we're starting to channel down here. When you get a big gap and a big sell-off followed by a channel, that channel can be very hard to break. So it's kind of a stressed out period for Netflix shareholders, especially after after that January report, which was a Q4 report. Because so much of the sentiment's been destroyed, and shareholders who are remaining have probably been hoping for better news coming into this quarter, and so far we're just not seeing it. So there's a lot of pressure on this stock going into Tuesday night.